Hey, it's Tom, and in this video we're really just prepping for the live stream that we're going to do tomorrow. So sit back and let's check out some of the drawings we're going to do for parts we're going to make tomorrow afternoon. Okay, so in the live stream tomorrow we're going to do a couple of things. The first is we're going to cut out some parts. Everyone loves the PlasmaCam, right? You love to see the stuff, go through and cut. So what I did is I split this up a little bit. I did the drawings today. It's Saturday. I did that earlier in the day, and I went ahead and just kind of went through the steps and process of the drawings. So there's nothing else in this video but the drawings themselves and prepping for tomorrow. But I just wanted to give everybody who is interested in the drawing side of this a chance to take a look. The other things that we're going to do in the live stream tomorrow are lathe work, right? So we've got some round bar to turn down, poke some holes in things. We're going to do some custom shaping for pokers now. So we did andirons the other day. We're working on I guess the person who's doing this stuff is wanting to do a fireplace set, right? So we're going to be working on that kind of stuff tomorrow. So so let's just take a look at the drawings for today, though. And I think that's more than enough. I don't want to bore anybody. It's probably 10 or 15 minutes of content, and then I will see everyone tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern time. See ya. All right, so we are going to take a look at the drawings that we're going to create for the live stream tomorrow, and in doing so, just get a quick tutorial on Design Edge. The parts that we have to make, there's technically there are multiples, but they're not terribly complicated parts to do. We've got some basic circles to do. We'll do that now. So nice part. Click on the circle button, enter the diameter, 6 inches, right? Copy, paste, and we can make our circles, right? So really simple to do. That's our first part in doing all this. In retrospect, I probably should have put the cut paths in before I did this, but I moved on. And the next thing that we did is we started working on a drawing, or basically it's a rectangle with a cutout and a couple of chamfers. Again, pretty straightforward stuff when you do your math right. So the first time I did this, I did the math wrong. The drawing is just a little hand sketch that was given to me, and the sketch doesn't really show much. So I was looking at this going, okay, so this is a 4x4 square. We'll go ahead and put that in, and then I started to do the part. I did the chamfers real quick, and then I was going to go in and do the cutout. Right, so I zoomed in. Wanted to verify that I did my chamfers right, so I went ahead, I just did a dot, so went ahead and put in a dot and used the XY coordinates to place that, because I was just making sure it's just a 1/2 inch chamfer, right? Nothing too special on these. So this is a whole lot harder to voice over on than it was to do this. Wish I had gotten the audio right the first time around. At least that's fixed for later videos, but anyways, so I did this one, got this done. Forgot there's 2 of these to do. It was the next part that I actually did incorrectly. So we went ahead, got this one in here, and again, move it, copy, press the C button, paste, ready to go. This is the one where I started to make a mistake. And I did my math wrong, what we're coming into. And effectively, it's just a rectangle with a cutout in it and a 1 inch chamfer on the lower right hand corner. And so the way that the drawing was done, I did it wrong, right? I didn't pay attention to the way that the drawing was done, because they didn't lay out the dimensions the way I'm used to seeing it. And it was a good lesson for me to look at those drawings and the way that I do drawings, and try and use standardized methods for that. So I went ahead, I did my rectangle, right? I thought I had the math right on there, and so we should zoom in here in a second. I guess not. I guess I just went right for my next rectangle. And I did my first initial point here, at which point I started looking at the calculations, and I realized that, hey, that's not right. I started looking at my math here, and I'm looking at this going, if I did this the way that the math is working out, my internal cutout's going to be bigger than the right side of this square. And that's when I realized that, hey, I did my math wrong. Takes me a second, and then I just start over. So effectively what I do is, delete it all. Let's get the math right. Do it again. And XY coordinates, I always start at 0, 0. I start at the origin. It makes it simple to do, and then I move things around again. So start at 0, 0, and then once I figured out the math, it's a 5 by 4 square. And then from here, we do another, 5 by 4 rectangle. We do another rectangle. Effectively, it's about an inch offset in there. I forget exactly what it was, if it was 3 inches square or if it was just an inch offset. But we go ahead and get that in place. And then the last step on that, once we have it in place, is to do the chamfer in there. And again, all you do, chamfer tool, give it the chamfer amount, which was in this case is 1 inch, select the corner, and boom, it goes away, chamfer's made. And I needed to make 2 of these too, so I guess these are going to be end caps for something. So we zoom back out, move that part up here, and then I make a copy of it. Again, it couldn't be any easier, folks. I mean, frankly, this kind of Design Edge makes this software really simple. Right? So PlasmaCam's done a good job with this. Next step in all this is to make the cut paths. And like I said, I really could have done this before I did the copying. I could do a cut path and then copy and paste. It saves a step. I like to actually do my layout first and then choose my cut points, because it allows me to pick and choose based on the location of that part on the sheet and what's around it, what's going on around it. Sometimes I want to change where that cut path entry point is. So pretty straightforward. Shift N does it. You can click on the button there. There's a couple of different ways of doing the cut paths. All of this is going to be in 1/8 inch material. I didn't spend a whole lot of time on layout because, well, actually I'll use 11 gauge. I won't use 1/8 because it's mild steel. But I didn't do a whole lot on layout because, frankly, sometimes you can spend more time on the layout than what being a little inefficient with your material is. I'm not doing large batch runs of this, so it's pretty straightforward. I know I've got a piece. I'll be reusing a piece that will fit this, and frankly, I'll probably end up moving this around on that sheet depending on if I use a small sheet or if I use a full sheet. I did decide, and you can see here, I chose that corner as my start point, and the first thing it does, it prompts you, hey, do you want to cut the interior as well, right? So it makes it really simple. And the nice part about this is no G-code, right? You don't have to write any G-code at all. Although I'm beginning to really, truly appreciate G-code. If you're trying to get into doing this kind of work, having a system that takes care of the hard stuff for you is really nice. So there you have it. This is the layout. This is what we're going to start with tomorrow when we do our live stream. There's actually one more part to this, and we'll switch over here in just a second. I had to do some extra measurements and do some, I had to look some things up. So, but this is the majority of it. The next one is actually an electrical panel faceplate. So I'm going to stop the voiceover here. I did get the audio working for that, so I'll walk you through that process, and you can see how I drew that out, mistakes and all, just like this one. I don't hide anything, folks. So here we go. Alright, let's go ahead and get the next part of this drawing done. This one's a little more complicated, but not too bad. So we know that we're doing a rectangle again. I always start from the origin, 0, 0. And the second corner has an X dimension of 14.85 inches and a height of 3.75 inches. Boom. Alright, so there it is. Now I'm going to zoom in. Let's do F6 so we can zoom into the whole thing. And the next thing we have to look at is we're going to put some holes in here. And in something like Fusion or SolidWorks, I'd put I actually put a line that we would use just for, gosh, no, I can't even think of the construction line. There we go. We can do something similar to that here. What we'll do is we'll do a line, and I'm going to do the right mouse, and we'll go from the midpoint of this. Do the right mouse again, midpoint of this one. And there's our construction line. We'll delete this line later, but we just need to know that, and we'll put some points along this line now. Actually, we'll do lines. Seems to be easiest. Now what's nice about the way we do this, I'm going to switch on one of the snaps. And I'm going to switch on the orthogonal snap, right? And so orthogonal means that we can only go in 45-degree increments. So we'll do lines. We know the first line is going to be, let's see, it's a diameter of 2 1/8. So we'll go half that, so 1 1/16 plus 1/2. So that is 1 5 16ths. Alright. Let's see if it'll let me do math. We want to do 1.5 plus 1/16. And then 0 in the y. Look at that. It lets me do math. And these don't matter. We're just going to do this exact same thing. We'll do another line. Actually, what we'll do is we'll do offsets. From now on, we're going to do an offset. So O for offset. Here we go. Right, so offset. And we know we want to do a distance of that exact same number, which was 0.5. No, wait, what do we do? 1.5 plus 1/16. I should just look that up. And I'm going to press Control to copy this, and there's our next one. And then I'm going to do another one, and then I'll do another one. Okay, there are our center points for our circles. Our circles, press the circle key. The diameter on this is 2 1/8. Right? So there they are. And I did something wrong. Because what I really needed to do is the diameter on these offsets, not the... I thought they looked awfully stacked close. Tell you what, let's try something else. Let's try, so it's 2 and 1, and we know we'll right mouse, and we want to be at the intersection of that. Now, if we do a copy, C, right, and right click and say center snap from here, I can do that, or maybe we can do offset, first point of offset distance or type distance. It's this exact same distance here, which is the 1.5, is that right? 1.558? No, it's going to be 2 1/8 plus the 1/2 inch. So it is 2.625. 2.625. And then control. Now, what did I do here? This is selected. Oh, I can't do an offset from a circle. So I do need to put those points. That's okay. So offset 2.625. Control, 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 control. Okay. And then we can copy this. Right click, center snap from there. And now we're going to right click intersection here, right click intersection here, right click intersection here. Okay, if we laid this out right, we should have distances of a ½ inch between each one. So I'm using keys here. I'm pressing home to turn off the orthogonal and end to turn on node. Actually, I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to use a right-click intersection of here to the intersection of here, ½ inch. Alright, so we know we've got those set properly. We can start taking these unneeded lines out of here. And I'm just doing control-click. I'm holding the control key down. Alright, so that's good. We've got those 4 holes. The other part that we need to draw in here is actually for a 110 outlet. And so I'm going to work on that one in a little bit, but I wanted to get this started first. So thanks for sticking around with me.